Hey guys, my name is Tito. I make videos on personal finance on my other channel. On this channel, I talk about other things like today when I'll be reviewing the new Netflix film, The Man of God. Man of God is a drama about Samuel Obaolu, a troubled young man living recklessly and trying to escape his past. Later in his life, he gets into Christian ministry for all the wrong reasons. Man of God stars Akah Nnani, Osas Ighodaro, Dorcas Shola Fapson, and Shawn Faqua, and it's directed by Bolanle Austen Peters. Now, first of all, if you've watched my Blood Covenant review or you're going to watch it after this review, you'll notice that I'm wearing the same clothes. That's because that movie came out on Friday. This movie, The Man of God, came out on Saturday. I'm filming both reviews back to back, so I didn't really see a need to change my clothes. So please bear with me. Now, this particular review, The Man of God, it's going to be spoiler filled. Because this movie is on Netflix, you can watch it like right now if you wanted to. So there's no point me, beating around the bush. I'm going to talk about everything that I noticed in this film. That said, let's dive into it, beginning with the performances in The Man of God. First off, shout out to my friend, fellow YouTuber Akah Nnani on his first starring role. In this movie, he plays Samuel Obaolu, a troubled young man who decides to go into Christian ministry to scam people and to, just deceive people and make money, and it was kind of creepy and weird. And if you notice, throughout the film, that character doesn't have a turning point. He doesn't change. From beginning to the end, he's bad and he's scamming people and he's cheating on Osas's character. It was very weird up until, even after he goes to see his father and reconciles with his father and his brother, there wasn't a moment where he admits his wrongdoing and changes his ways. I found that a bit interesting. But Akah's performance was okay, was good. The only issue I had with it was the beginning and the whole fella performance thing. It wasn't really giving, in my opinion. I think the lip syncing and the performance, they just weren't gelling for some reason. But aside from that, his performance was really good. The lovely Osas Ighodaro. Osas played Teju Williams, a young woman who was, there for Samuel Obaolu from their university days, marries the guy and she's by his side even when he starts in ministry, and she's really holding her faith or holding on to her faith. But unfortunately, the guy is just treating her badly, cheating on her, and it really mirrored the reality for lots of women in the world today who kind of get guilted into a relationship or who just overlook lots of things for the sake of religion and, enter these terrible relationships. It was kind of heartbreaking to see, but I felt the emotion and I felt stuff as I was watching her endure that marriage. So yeah, how it ended for her character, or how things concluded for the character, I should say, I'm not too sure. It seemed like she was happy to turn the guy in at the end of the day. And I wasn't really buying that because I felt like this Teju really loved Samuel. So I don't see how she would have turned him in, to the police so easily. Dorcas Shola Fapson, aka DSF, plays Rekia, aka Rex, and she plays a friend with serious benefits to Akah's character Samuel. And she was actually really good. I think this is the best DSF performance I've seen. I haven't seen that many, but this was the best outside of her performance in MTV Sugar. And I only wish that we knew what exactly she was doing, the illegal business she was doing that made her meet her untimely demise. And I wish it was revealed or they incorporated it into the story that she was like in love with Akah's character, which is why she kept on giving him so much money for so long. Maybe it was money laundering, maybe that's the reason why she kept on giving him so much money. But essentially her performance was really good. Prince Nelson Emwerem, he plays Pastor BJ and he was convincing. Prince is actually a good actor. If you guys watched the season of Big Brother Naija, remember that Prince, he was always really good with those acting. He was good with a lot of things in the Big Brother Naija house, particularly the acting. The last project or last film I saw him in was Head Over Bills back in February. I don't know why I brought that up, especially seeing as I didn't like that film. But moving on, Prince was good in this film. His performance was okay. I would have added a bit more to it because those pastors on campus tend to be really overzealous, but I didn't get that from Prince's character in this film. Moving on, Mawuli Gavor, who also plays a pastor, Pastor Zach. I wasn't buying it. Pastors don't tend to look like Mawuli Gavor. You don't see Mawuli and think, let's cast this guy as a pastor. No. Plus, they missed a golden opportunity to embellish that character, to really make him fit in that pastor role. For example, they could have given him a Bible to hold or had an assistant beside him holding his bag, or had that face towel that pastors always carry. In fact, none of the pastors in this movie had that face towel, and I was very offended by that. There are all these things they could have done to make Mawuli actually look like a pastor. Heck, they could have shown a bit of him delivering a sermon on the pulpit. That would have been unique. I've never seen Mawuli in that capacity before. I think they missed a golden opportunity. So yeah, I wasn't really buying the performance. No fault of Mawuli's. Mawuli's a great actor, but I think it's more a fault of the director or the direction that, that didn't happen. Jude Chukwuma. Now he's the guy who plays Samuel Obaolu's dad, i.e. Akah's character's dad. And Jude Chukwuma is a great actor. I've followed him since his days of Skinny Girl in Transit. He's a great actor. He's really good. We didn't really get to see much of his dynamism in this film, but he did okay. And the character itself, I don't know. We start off not liking him because he's an abusive father, but then at the end of the day, we realize that he's not really the villain in the film. And I even don't know how we're meant to feel about him at the end of the film when he takes his son back. It was strange, and he wasn't a fraud, because for some reason we felt like they were going in the direction of him being some kind of a fraud, like his son ended up being. But he was a pastor. He was scandal-free, I guess. But that's another thing. I'm digressing a bit, but stay with me. You remember the part where Joy, where she finds out that Samuel's dad was, Pastor Josiah Obaolu, right? And then because of that, she doesn't want to see Samuel anymore. What was the scandal? Why did she suddenly not want to see Samuel anymore? Because of who his father was. They didn't tell us that. And I felt that was a big lapse, in the storytelling of this film. Finally, Atlanta, Bridget Johnson. What a unique name. She played Joy, and she did really well. It's really nice to see a fresh new face doing really well in films like this. I enjoyed her more in the second half of the movie when she comes back into Samuel's life and, they're conflicted. Well, at least she's conflicted. Samuel had no problem cheating on his wife. She's conflicted about, starting an affair with the guy, or at least considering it. It doesn't actually happen, but, she's considering it, and you can feel the turmoil that she feels, and it was a very good performance. I enjoyed her performance. I hope we get to see more of her in Nollywood. There was one strange thing tied to that character though. If you remember, Joy graduates before Samuel because Samuel has carryovers, right? But she was also friends and I think course mates with Teju. But Teju doesn't graduate with her. Instead, Teju is still in school with Samuel when he stays behind. So what happened there? It would have been nice if we got an explanation to that. What I liked seeing my beloved Unilag, the university that I went to several years ago. Greatest Akokites! No, but the university looked really good. I think that's the best I've ever seen Unilag looking on the big screen. And it brought back so many memories. Arts Block, Senate Building, Lovers Garden, Guest House, Moremi area, like near QSS. If you went to Unilag, you know what I'm talking about, especially if you went during like a particular era. But it was really nice because, clearly they shot a lot of this film in the University of Lagos. So for me, that was like the best part of this movie. I also like the fact that this film kind of took a peek into the whole racket of religious scams and fake men of God and how they manipulate people, and they're still able to quote scripture and keep up appearances. You don't see very much of that on the big screen, at least I don't anyway, so I appreciated that unique look into that world. Also, the cinematography was really good. They had some really nice establishment shots and wide shots. There was one around Theatre Arts that I saw near the Senate area towards the beginning where Akah's character and Osas's character meet, at some point. That was really cool. So yeah, those were the things that I liked about this movie. Greatest Akokais! What I didn't like, I think they could have done a better job of depicting the pastors or the preachers or the men of God in this film, because they didn't really feel like men of God. Apart from Akah's character, he looked the part, and his dad as well, played by Jude Chukwuma, he looked the part too. But all the other guys that played pastors in this film, I wasn't really feeling it. Secondly, the direction or the directing in this movie, I'll tread carefully. The director was Bolanle Austen Peters, a heavyweight in Nollywood and in stage and theater here in Nigeria. But that's what she's really known for more, theater productions. And I fear that sometimes she directs her movies like she's directing a stage production or a theater production. And they don't necessarily, they don't translate too well when you try and direct a movie like a theater production or vice versa. So either she may need to switch it up a bit or let somebody else direct. Who should see it? Well, if you haven't watched the movie already and you're watching this review, please, in the comment section, tell me why. But if you're the sentimental kind and you went to the University of Lagos, Akoka, the university of first choice, greatest Akokites, then I think you should totally watch this film. It will bring back so many memories, and it's just nice to see our school looking so pretty. Also, if you want to see a film that looks at how some people in the church community and some pastors or some men of God, how they exploit the congregation for selfish reasons, then I think you'll enjoy this movie as well. Greatest! Okay, I'll stop. And finally, this film ended on a bit of a weird note for me. I didn't know how to feel. As you know, at the end, he gets arrested probably for his association with Rex and the criminal activities she was engaged in. And he gets arrested, yes, but he also gets released shortly after, and he has this massive beard. We don't know how many years have passed, but it doesn't seem to be that long, and he goes and reconciles with his dad and his brother. It's at that stage that it dawns on me that this film is probably based on like the story of the prodigal son in the Bible. But there's so many questions, you know. Did he have a turning point? Has he changed his ways? Has he repented? Is his dad now a good guy? Have we forgiven him? Was he avoiding his mother all those years? She seemed to be cool. It's his dad that had issues. So is everything cool now? It was just, there are so many questions, and this film kind of left me with more questions than it did answers. Even the way things ended with Osas's character, Teju, it feels like she should have done time as well. It was weird. At the end of the day, who was the protagonist? Who was the antagonist in this film? Let me know what you thought about the ending or how this movie ended. Let me know in the comment section down below. This was a long one, guys, but there was a lot that needed to be discussed in this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like this video by clicking on the like button just underneath the video, and subscribe to my channel as well by clicking on the red subscribe button. On this channel, I don't just do Nollywood movie reviews, I also talk about relationships. To check out my playlist of relationship videos, you can click the card in the corner of the screen. You can also just head over to my channel and click the videos tab, and that will take you or show you my catalog of videos. I also have another channel, I should say, which is a personal finance channel. If you're interested in saving and investing, I highly recommend it. I will link the channel in the description box down below. Once again, congratulations to Akah on his first starring role in a Netflix movie, no less. Big deal. Head over to Akah's channel as well. He's a YouTuber along with his wife Claire, so check them out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Am I leaving anything out? Oh yes, let me know your thoughts about this film, The Man of God, in the comment section down below. There have been conflicting and contradictory views about this movie, and I want to hear everything that you guys have to say about the film in the comment section down below. Thanks so much, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Be sure to check out my review of The Blood Covenant, which I also filmed this weekend, which is out in cinemas right now.